Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Andy here. I coach men and women on living lives of abundance and joy. If they can all do it, you sure as hell can too. Ladies, gentlemen, I got my very first freaking fan mail, and we are going to read this out. I also got a really cool gift. Look at this cool thing. I'll explain what this is in a second. But goddamn, I am super happy. I never thought that I would get something like this. I never thought any of you would send me something or write me a handwritten letter saying that you appreciate the content, that you appreciate our community. So I'm a little chuffed. Let's read out. Maybe I'll read out parts of what this letter says because I am really excited. So, hi, Andy and Emmy. My name is Luke, and he'd be pretty comfortable me saying his name given his name is on his YouTube channel. But I often comment on your videos as Mungfin01. Yes, I recognize the username. I've been a subscriber of yours for a few years, and I love the positive and encouraging message that you bring to the world. I'll often listen to your videos while I'm at work, driving, going to the gym, or going for a walk. I love that. That's amazing. I try and be a force for good. I try and be a force for positivity. A lot of people were very positive and had a very positive, uplifting influence on me, especially when I was really struggling. So hell yeah, I try and put those good vibes out. I frequently take great inspiration from what you share and always find myself in such a peaceful, loving mood after finishing one of your videos. That's the aim. You've also taught me a lot about using autistic honesty to improve all of my relationships. Brilliant. Isn't dating, sex, and relationships a million times easier when we can just tell the fucking truth and we don't think about like, how do I phrase this in a perfect way? How do I avoid rejection? Fuck that. Tell the truth, then you don't have to remember anything. About a year ago, I started my own YouTube channel in my niche called Terminal Curiosity. And start, he certainly did. This is Luke's channel. You can check it out. Maybe I'll leave a link in the description below. You can just search for Terminal Curiosity, and he does videos on electronics and I guess making electronics. And so what he sent me, this little thing right here is, I think it's called a PCB ruler. And he even has a video down here on how to make one of your own. And so he sent me this cool thing that's in the video. How freaking cool is that? I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but it's made of metal. It's pretty solid. It's got measurement lines on it. It's got all sorts of like PCB and electronic stuff that I don't really understand, but it looks really freaking pretty and really freaking fancy. And so he was inspired, I guess, by our community and our message to give yourself permission to suck and just get started. And he made this channel. And look, he already has, what is he at? 1.89k subscribers. Absolutely amazing. And he even has a video that did 55,000 views. Holy smokes, that's amazing. So Luke, absolute legend. Maybe I'll leave his channel up on the screen while I read the rest of his letter. So I was inspired to start my own YouTube channel called Terminal Curiosity to share projects I'm working on and provide tips and advice for others to learn from. I'm not posting as much as I would like because I'm juggling that with full-time work, blah, 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 fair enough. Despite this, whenever I feel like I haven't done enough or I feel bad for not posting in a while, I just remember your advice. Number 1, give yourself permission to suck. Hell yes. Look, this guy made this entire YouTube channel. A video has 55,000 views, and I've watched a couple of them. They're actually pretty decent. And that was because he gave himself permission to suck. He didn't say, oh, I have to know how to be a YouTuber before I make a video, or I got to make sure I have good editing skills and a good name. By the way, his channel name is an hilarious pun. But he just gave himself permission to suck and he actually got started. And look at what he's been able to do. And we've had a lot of people come through coaching. And by the way, this guy didn't do coaching, but we've had quite a lot of coaching clients that are terrified to start a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog or a business or something, but they give themselves permission to suck and they do stuff like this. They make something fucking amazing. We had one guy who had a video with like 200,000 views and it was like the second video that he'd ever put out. It just blew the fuck up and went viral. And he was like, oh my God, what do? I don't know what, I didn't expect it to go this well. So yeah, man, like beautiful things happen when you give yourself permission to suck. The second piece of advice that he's taken to heart is just do a little bit as often as you can. Yeah, it usually takes a lot less than you think it does to have some small wins and some victories. And then number 3, don't quit. This motivates me to do what I can and just keep going. I wanted to send you a gift, a project I made. in the electronics industry, it's called a PCB ruler. It's a handy ruler made out of a circuit board. It has a heap of useful reference information on it for electronic design. Again, this is what he's talking about. And it's also a fun, shiny object. Yes, it is. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's very sparkly, and it looks like it's made very fucking well. It looks very expensive and fancy, so I very much appreciate it. It's even got a measurement on it, so I can go down here. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm measuring down here. Measuring my wrist, you sick perverts. I was measuring my wrist down there. But yeah, it's really freaking cool. So he sent me this PCB ruler. It's shiny, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for all the great work that you do. I appreciate you. Keep being awesome. Luke. Thank you, Mr. Luke. I am tickled pink. This is the first thing that I've ever received. Technically, Ed once sent me something, but he's a coaching client of mine, so does that count? And I guess he's a coach. I guess he sent that more as a friend. But this is the first time someone has, as a viewer, sent me something. It was a very interesting experience, and I'm very, very, very grateful. Not something that I ever really expected when I started this community, when I started coaching people and giving advice. I never thought that I would reach this level of fucking, hey, mom, look, I made it. I got fan mail. So I am very humbled. I am very grateful. Let's answer some freaking questions and give some freaking coaching. And why am I saying freaking so much? All right, Phoenix, who is a very regular on this channel in this community, says, have you ever noticed that just being happy makes other people angry, like it's some kind of competition? I've been trying and failing to get away from people like that for years. Then when I want to be left alone, they get all offended. I don't think anyone I know offline gets it because they keep trying to, quote, fix me. So we can play around with this, man. One thing that's really helped me a lot in life is anytime I'm mad at someone else or anytime I'm thinking someone else is the problem, I turn it back around on me and say, what can I do about it? What can I learn from this? And so what's kind of funny here, man, is as we read out your post, we can turn everything around. And when you're talking about other people, we can see if that relates to you. What I mean there is maybe you are doing the exact same thing that you're accusing other people of. And because you can't control other people, there's no point getting angry about it. But what you can influence and control is yourself. And so you start out by saying, have you ever noticed that being happy makes other people angry like it's some kind of competition? We can play around with that sentence and say, are you getting angry at other people who get angry? And the answer is obviously yes. That's why you wrote this paragraph or this comment. You can't stop other people getting angry at you, especially not if you're happy and they're jealous of that. That will happen. And so all you can control is your end of that, like your side of that. So you could spend less time with them. You go on to say, I've been trying and failing to get away from people. They're not physically holding on to you. They don't have a gun to your head and they're like, listen up, Mr. Phoenix, you have to spend time listening to my negativity. No, you are choosing to stick around with that. It's not hard to move away from someone. You just say, I'm not going to spend any more time with you. And they say, but you have to. And you say, I understand that you feel that way, but I'm not going to. Done. That's it. You block their phone number, you move on. That's it. It's really not hard to move away from people, but it's worth exploring this because you are currently getting something out of having these people in your life. What are you getting out of it? You get to complain. You get to be just as negative as you feel like they are being, and you get to feel righteous about it. You get to have the ego and the pride, which is, in your comment here. You get to feel like you're the better person. After all, they're the ones getting angry. They're the ones seeing it as a competition. I'm a good person. I'm trying to get away from these negative people, but I can't. Oh, I keep failing. They're the bad people. I just want to be left alone. They're the ones getting offended. You get a whole sub story out of that. You get to feel like the victim, and that gives a big payoff in itself. And so the next sentence, I just want to be left alone. They're getting all offended. Are they getting offended? Or are you getting offended? You're the one that's offended that they're angry. You're offended that they see things as a competition. You're offended that you won't be left alone. You're offended that they don't get it. You're offended when they try to fix you. You're the one that's offended. They might be as well, but you can't control that. All you can control, again, is your side of the coin or your side of the equation. You are the one that is angry. You are the one that sees it as a competition. You see yourself in competition with them. You think you're better than them. That is a competition. You say that they're judging you, but you're the one judging them as well. They might not even be judging you. I don't know if they're judging you, but I can see you judging them, and that's okay. We all have a brain that likes to judge. It's just its natural thing. But work with what you can control. And here's what we can take away from, what you've written here, my friend. And I say all of this with love. You are angry. You are unhappy. You feel like a victim. You are offended. And you are annoyed that they're trying to fix you. Those are the actual hard realities that we have that we can deal with. That is the stuff that I would work on. Rather than trying to control external things and control other people, I would work on myself. Can I let go of a little bit of my anger? Or you might say, can I work on being a little bit more peaceful and accepting of other people? That doesn't mean you spend time with them. But why do I have to get angry at people trying to fix me? They're just trying to help. They are literally trying to help. And I'm the one getting angry about that. I'm angry that people are trying to help me. I don't need to accept their help. I can say, hey, I appreciate that. No, thank you. And then if they keep trying, I can start enforcing some boundaries and say, hey, look, listen, can you please respect my boundaries? I don't want you to help me. I don't want your advice. And then they might not be able to help themselves, in which case you say, hey, look, I'm just going to spend less time with you because I don't really feel super happy when we spend time together. And then if they still don't respect that, you say, hey, look, I'm going to cut the friendship off. I love you. I respect you, but I'm going to move on. Nothing but love in my heart for you. And then you block them if you need to. Like, it's not hard to move away, but it's worth being self-aware about this and self-honest. You are getting a lot out of complaining about them, and you phrase it in a way like you're the righteous one, and they're the ones complaining, and they're the ones trying to fix you, and they see it as a competition. It's you doing all of that, and then blaming them for that, or projecting that on them. They might be doing it too. I don't know. I'm not there, but you definitely are. And so that is the bit that I would work on. I hope all of this comes across with love. I hope my intention comes across here. But yeah, a lot of the time we sit there, this is just such a human thing. Hey, we will sit there and blame the other person and say they're seeing it as a competition, they're being angry, they're all of this. And it's like, how about I take a look in the mirror? Am I doing any of the things that I'm accusing other people of? Yes. Have I ever done those things in the past? Yes. Which means I wasn't perfect. And I believe Mr. JC from the Bible, Mr. Jesus Christ, said it best, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. In other words, what we kind of mean by that is the moment that I never get angry at other people and see things as a competition, then I can judge other people for doing that. And at that point, by the way, you wouldn't want to judge other people because you'd be peaceful and happy. The moment I stop getting offended at other people, then I can get angry at them getting offended, or I can judge them for getting offended. The moment that my life is completely 100% perfect and together, then I can stop judging, or I can start judging other people. The funny thing is, at that point, you don't want to judge anyone else. At the moment when you're actually really deeply happy in yourself, there's no impetus to judge other people. Why would you want to? You see them as just trying to do their best. You see them as exactly like you, your brothers and your sisters. Phoenix, what's really funny, and this isn't just you, man, this is like most human beings, you accuse these other people of seeing things as a competition, of seeing, I guess, life as a competition. You see life as a competition. You are doing it and then accusing other people of doing it too. And they might be doing it too as well. Yeah, sure. But you can't stop them from seeing this as a competition. In other words, while you're so busy accusing other people, and you might be correct, but while you're so busy accusing other people of not working together and not being on the same team as you, that's not being on the same team as them. A good teammate doesn't go around accusing other people. A good teammate sees other people as just human beings trying to do their best. And they see their flaws and maybe their weaknesses, and they say, that's okay. I get that this person judges me sometimes. I get that they see it as a competition. I feel that way too. It's all good. I understand why they're trying to fix me. I get it. They're just trying to help. Like a good teammate is empathetic and understanding rather than judgmental. And again, that isn't me judging you. I have been very judgmental towards a lot of people over my life. I have accused other people of doing the exact same things that I have done, or that I still do. And so all of this makes you very human, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Imagine if you saw these people, instead of seeing them as your competition, or that you're better than them, which is the implication in your post here, instead of seeing them as you're better than them and they're not as good as you and they're the enemy, imagine if you saw them as your fellow human beings and you extended an olive branch. Imagine if you were the compassionate one, which is what you're expecting them to be. You're asking them to be empathetic and understand that you just want to be left alone. But you're not understanding that they want to help you. You're asking them to not get angry. But you're not being patient and empathetic and kind and compassionate. You're asking them to just leave you alone. But you're not leaving them alone. You're criticizing them on the internet. That's not leaving them alone, is it? Leaving them alone would be like, hey, they're just trying to help. They're doing their thing. That's fine. I'm going to go my own separate way. That would be leaving them alone. And by the way, I've said it a million times already, but it's okay that you judge other people. It's okay that you're thinking that you're better than them. It's okay that you're angry at them. It's okay that you see them as a competition and then blame them for doing the same thing, even though you're doing it as well. I do all of that stuff too. I am not perfect. I am the first person to make it very clear that I am a human being trying to do my best, just like you are, my friend, and just like these people that you're talking about are. And so the reason that I say all of this is I and you cannot control other people, ever. It's a fallacy of the brain. It's a cute little trick that we play on ourselves where we think if we just bitch and moan and complain about other people, which yes is what you're doing here, let's be honest, and it's okay, but that's what you're doing. We think if we bitch and moan and complain about other people and gossip behind their back, and I do it too. I do it in videos sometimes. I bitch and moan about Andrew Tate sometimes. I try not to do it too much, but that's me literally doing the very thing I'm talking about here. But we think that bitching and moaning about other people will solve the problem. No, it just leaves us feeling disconnected, lonely, and ironically, vulnerable to attack or vulnerable to them attacking back to us. We think that attacking other people makes us stronger. No, it just makes us weak. Putting down your sword and saying, you know what, that person is my brother, that person is my sister, that person is my friend. I'm not going to keep attacking them. That is strength, and I am not perfect with that, neither are you, but that is how we get to that place of peace and seeing everyone as our friend or as our fellow fucking human being, instead of thinking that we're better than them. And again, I do this stuff too, my brother. We're all on this journey together. We're all on this journey to do what this handsome little fuck, actually I have no idea what Jesus looked like, but what this cool fucking dude and this cool Buddha dude and this cool Dalai Lama dude all talked about a lot, and there's a billion other people that talk about this, seeing everyone else as your fellow human being rather than someone that you're better than or that you think is better than you. That is the pathway to peace. That is the pathway to a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and that's the pathway to getting what you want. Like, time that you've spent writing all of this is time that you could have spent leveling yourself up. Why do you even care about other people? Why do you care that other people are unhappy or angry if you're happy? Also, you're not happy. This is not a happy comment. This is not a happy, peaceful comment. You might think that it is. This is not how happy people talk, by the way. Happy people are too busy winning to complain about other people. And I am still working on that mission myself. So I am right there with you. We are right there as brothers alongside each other. But if you were truly happy, you would not have time to complain about other people. You'd be like, they're just doing their best. In fact, what you would probably say is, I wonder if there is something I can do for them. Is there something I can do to lift them up? If I'm so happy, why don't I share it with them instead of judging them? So again, there's still a lot of work you can do on happiness. Me too, brother. I'm right there. Let's link arms and go together towards the promised land of fucking non-judgmentalism and happiness and goals and success and wisdom and enlightenment. We're still on that journey together, bro. But yeah, be so busy winning that you don't have time to sit there and bitch and moan about other people. Why do you give a fuck about other people and like other people being unhappy unless it is for the purpose of lifting them up? What you're doing here is pushing them down. No, brother, we ain't got time for that shit. And again, I do that stuff too. You will find me complaining about other people in videos. I'm still working on this too. So let's all together try and lift each other up rather than bitching and moaning about people. Jordan Peterson says it best. Clean your room. In other words, is your room in order? Is your bed made? Are you happy? Is your brain nice and peaceful and loving and wonderful? Do you have the money that you want? Do you have the sex life and romantic life that you want? Do you have the friendships? Do you treat your body with love and reverence? Are you making a difference in the world and trying to lift up other people around you? If not, that is what I would work on first. Don't worry that there are other dudes and dudettes out there unhappy or jealous of your success or jealous of you. Great. Try and help them if you can, or just ignore them at worst, I guess. But clean your room. Again, so many people in the world live their life complaining about other people when their own bedroom is not in order, which was the whole point of Jordan Peterson's motto, clean your own damn room. And there is that saying, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. In other words, if you're not happy, if you're in the position where you can complain about other people, then there's probably some work to do. And I take that message myself. Again, how many freaking times have I said it in this video? I complain about other people too sometimes. I'm trying to minimize that as much as I can. And so all of this, brother, is me speaking to you as much as I am speaking to myself. But that said, you're doing a really good job. I appreciate you being open and honest here. I hope none of this comes across as a criticism, more like an opportunity. You're not doing something wrong, so to speak, but you have a wonderful opportunity to focus on yourself. And what I can promise you, brother, is as your life starts to improve, as you start to become really happy in yourself and in your life and your achievements and just who you are as a human being, you find it less and less tempting to complain about other people. You still might do it sometimes, but much, much, much less. Like you will do it 1/1,000,000th as much as you normally do. So keep working on that, brother. We all want to see you win. And don't worry about other people who you think aren't winning, unless you're going to try and lift them up and help them. But don't focus on other people that are unhappy. Why do you care that other people are unhappy unless you're going to help them? Play to win. Stop playing not to lose. Okay, this next comment is going to require so much freaking context, and I am not going to read this out of context. So this was on a video called BDSM is Not What You Think, and it was about BDSM myths. And one of the myths that we talked about that we've noticed a lot is a lot of people have this conception that BDSM must automatically include abuse and violence and hurting someone else and them not having a good time. And what we said in the video is, no, a lot of the BDSM that Imi and I do, I would just say all of the BDSM that we do these days, is very gentle and loving. I take sort of what might be called a daddy dom sort of vibe, like a very paternal, gentle caregiver type role, and I teach them and I walk them through it, and if they're scared and nervous and all of that, we go really slow, we talk it through. I like people that I'm having sex with to have a really good time. So, with all of that context, now let's read out this guy's comment, because without context, it's just hilarious. I'm a dominant man. I don't like punching either. Never done it to a woman. Really glad to hear that. Weird flex, but okay. I'm joking there. But yes, I have never punched a woman either, so we are in good company, my brother. But I've punched plenty of men outside the bedroom. And then you lost it, brother. Like, maybe you're not bragging about that, but let's do our best not to punch men outside the bedroom either, okay? Like, I'm kidding, bro. Like, you can do whatever you like in your life, but I'm a very non-violent person. I'm going to push the non-aggression principle. Let's be nice to men outside the bedroom. Let's be nice to women outside the bedroom. And let's be nice to both of them inside the bedroom as well. I feel like slapping is humiliating and therefore is perfect for BDSM, but punching is destructive, and why break your toy? That last bit made me giggle, brother. I appreciate this comment. It actually genuinely made me giggle. So I appreciate you. Yes. I think we would all agree, let's do less punching, maybe less punching of men as well. But thank you for the comment. Thank you for the giggle. All right, this next one comes from Andy's Vehicle History channel, and it is about feeling a little bit of anxiety when you see a girl that you like. So glad I found your talk. I was at the driving theory test Wednesday evening. I sat down one chair away from a blonde I liked the look of, who was nervous. We kept looking at each other, but none of us said a word. It's not the first time that this has happened, and I could now kick myself. I've been quite depressed. I'm 29, and I feel like it's not normal. The last few days, do you think it's anxiety? So I'm not sure what you're saying is not normal. If you mean the anxiety around seeing a girl that you like and not being able to talk to her, yes, that's incredibly normal. That just makes you a human being. The vast majority of human beings are very afraid to talk to people that they don't know, even just to make friends. But even more so if we're talking about hitting on a girl that you like. Yes, there is a lot of fear around that. So you could call it anxiety, sure. If you want a more specific word for it, you can call it approach anxiety. And if you go into my channel and just search for the word approach, you will see a billion videos I have done on approach anxiety, how to talk to girls you like, how to start that process. The two videos that I would start with are this one here, called The Easiest Approach Technique Ever, and then this one here, Andy's Approach Anxiety Program for if you're scared to talk to girls. Both of those really get you started of like how to start talking to women, but everything here is helpful. You know, like this one, it's okay to be a bit awkward if you're going to talk to a girl. You probably haven't done it very often. You probably have no idea what you're doing. And if you just go through all of these, there's like so many different videos on, you know, advice. Like if you're struggling to do it, blah, blah, blah. I've covered this a hell of a lot of times, like a lot of times. Like, holy shit, actually, as I scroll down, I've talked about this a lot, haven't I? Obviously. How to approach women without making them uncomfortable, you know, how to be direct and honest when you approach rather than indirect and wasting someone's time. You know, you don't even have to see it as approaching. You're just saying hi. And this mindset can help a lot. Like when you're sitting there in the waiting room and you see the cute girl and she's looking at you when you're looking at her, you can literally just say hi. And when I mean hi, I literally mean hi. You could just wave at her and be like, hi. And then, because she's a human being who's probably not completely, well, she might be, but she's probably a human being with some social confidence or skills. So she'll say hello back. Now you can start talking. What are you doing? Are you just waiting here in the room? Yeah, I'm waiting too. That's cool. Well, your name's Andy. So hello, fella Andy. I'm Andy. I run a YouTube channel. I talk about vehicle history. What do you do? And she's like, well, we know nothing about her. She's a blonde woman. I'm a blonde woman, and I like to make sure my hair is nice and neat. And you go, wow, that's really cool. How do you make your hair neat? And then you guys have a fucking conversation. Like, you don't have to be good at this shit. You don't have to be some smooth Casanova. But you've probably put pressure on yourself that you have to know how to pick up a woman, and you have to be good at approaching, and you have to be a smooth James Bond. No. Do you know that the vast majority of human beings on this planet get together with the world's most awkward, shitty, nervous conversations? That is how the vast majority of human beings on this planet have met and become friends or lovers or partners or build a fucking family together or sex friends or sex fiends. Literally just with awkward conversations. Very, very, very few people on this planet are actually any good at talking to people that they like. And the ones who are decent at it, like I would consider myself pretty decent because I've done it a bunch of times. How did I get decent? By doing it like hundreds of times. I guess thousands of times. I had to practice a lot. And so if you take away the pressure on yourself to be good, like to be good at this, and realize that all you're doing is saying hello to another human being, and they either like you and they're single or not. Those are the only two outcomes. Nothing bad happens if they say, no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. Or nothing bad happens if it's a bit awkward and weird. Nothing bad happens if there's some awkward silences. Nothing bad happens if they say, no thanks, I don't want to talk. Cool. You're in exactly the same position that you're in anyway. So yeah, man, I would take some of this pressure off yourself that you have to be good at this shit. I would also forgive yourself for not doing it. It sounds like you're beating yourself up a little bit, and that's okay. But it sounds like you're a little bit regretful of the fact that you didn't do this. But that just makes you a human, man. Like the vast majority of human beings cannot talk to people that they're interested in. The fact that you even beat yourself up about it is amazing. You might think that's a bad thing. It's the most beautiful, incredible thing ever, because what does it tell us? It tells us that you know deep down you are capable of talking to people that you're interested in. Otherwise, you wouldn't beat yourself up. You'd just be like, whatever, I can't talk to women. Why do I need to, like, why do I even think about that? Like, a lot of people just don't even think about talking to strangers because they're like, whatever, you can't talk to strangers. I'm not allowed to. It's bad. It's wrong. It's awkward. So I just won't even think about it. They're not beating themselves up. The fact that you're feeling a bit regretful or you're kicking yourself about it means that deep down, motherfucker, you know that beats or what beats inside your chest is the heart of a lion. You know you're capable of this stuff, man. Otherwise, you wouldn't beat yourself up. So like I said, go on my channel, just search for the word approach. Just start watching some random videos, man. I would probably start with what I said, the approach anxiety program one, this one right here. I would start with this, watch that, and all you're going to do is go outside and just start thinking about talking to some women that you like. And eventually, I promise, you will work up the courage when you're sitting in a waiting line or whatever, and you see some cute blonde and she looks at you and you look at her. All you're going to do is just wave and be like, hi. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm nervous, but you seem pretty. Are you single? Or, hey, what's up? You know, you seem cool. Are you just waiting? I'm waiting. Do you want to wait together? Then it's not so boring. Like, you don't have to have good conversation, man. If you just talk to enough women, some of them are going to be interested in you. Some of the other stuff you said here, I've been quite depressed and I'm 29. I maybe can't give you the most amazing advice over a fucking YouTube comment, but I was depressed and suicidal myself. I've done many videos on that. If you search on my channel for the word depression, you'll see this long video where I literally wrote my biography of depression and being suicidal and all of that, how I worked through it with the help of my friends, my family. Well, I didn't have any friends at the time. My family, and then making friends and all of that. I literally have a step-by-step process of like how you can start working on that stuff. And spoiler alert, nobody is coming to save you, brother. There are lots of people that will help you and love you and provide for you and lift you up when you ask for help, but it's got to start with you, my man. Like, I'll be very fucking honest with you on that. Like, if it is to be, it's up to me. And so I would start working on that myself. I also have a playlist here that you can see called Peace and Happiness. And this has like a whole bunch of step-by-step videos of how to be happier, what to work on, and all of that. But I would start with that depression video, this one here. I have a whole bunch of links and resources and stuff that you can use to start working through your own depression, like what you can do about it. If you go down to the timestamps here, see here I've got chapter 3, Hope. If you click on that, then I start talking about like some of the resources and like where you can get help. I talk about therapy. I talk about this book here that really changed my life, a bunch of other books and articles that I've written and other people have written, how to make friends, you know, whether or not to think about medication, counseling. I offer coaching if you want that as well. But yeah, I would start doing something to work through it, brother. But a really good job opening up to us. You know, maybe you're new to the channel since you said, you know, I'm glad I found your talk. Brother, I promise it can get better, but it's got to come from you. Other people will help you. Other people will be there for you. Other people will love you, but you got to start taking some action, man. Maybe you already are taking action. You posting this, by the way, was you taking action. So congratulations on being brave enough to share this with all of us. But I would start getting some goals together. I'd start working on something. Again, I would go through my depression article and I literally talk about how to start taking some of those baby steps to start living the life that you want. There is plenty of content on my channel as well on how to start building a successful or a life that you feel is successful, a life that you're happy with. If you search on my channel for the word success, you'll see this video here, the 7 pillars of success. And I literally talk about how to start getting your life together a little bit. If you search for the word baby steps, you'll see this article here, how to start your goals right now, or this video, sorry, how to start your goals right now. And I literally walk you through how to start taking some action. So plenty of content on my channel about improving your life. But yeah, welcome, my brother. Good job posting all of this. And yeah, we're all here for you, man. Like I said, if you want my help with this, I offer coaching. There's links down below in every video. But yeah, man, like, welcome. Let's blast through a couple more comments to finish up. So Odysej, I can't pronounce that username. 1987, the year of my birth as well, my brother. So you're probably 37. So hello, welcome. yeah, that's very much the issue personally for me. Sexuality is still covered in shame and weirdness. I have covered this topic a lot. So if you just search on my channel for the word shame, or you could search for guilt, I've done a lot of videos about how a lot of shame comes from religion, a lot of it comes from other people. Basically, all shame comes from other people that we then accept because, I don't know, we just don't know any better. We're like, oh, other people say that sex is bad and wrong and you're using people and you should be ashamed about that. And if you're a woman and you have a lot of sex, you're a slut. If you're a guy and you have too much sex, then you're using people and you're a bad person and you're toxic masculinity. And we just accept that shame because we don't know any better. But this video here is very relevant. Is guilt ruining your life? Or I guess you could say, is shame ruining your life? Guilt is a hell of a drug. This one here, God hates me for my sins, I can't be forgiven. That was from a guy who felt a lot of shame about his own sexuality. Do you feel guilty about casual sex? You can see I've covered this a lot. Sexual shame and religious guilt. Stop being fucking ashamed of your masculinity. There's a lot of stuff I've done about shame. And then, funnily enough, people have shame when they don't feel like they have enough sex. So like this guy, I'm 31 years old, I haven't kissed anyone, I haven't had sex. It's my shameful secret. And as I talk about in this video, it's funny that we have these very narrowly defined expectations or boundaries on how much sex people are supposed to have, right? If you're a woman and you have too much sex, then you're a slut. If you're a guy and you have too much sex, then you're using people and you're a bad person. But then if you're a guy and you don't have enough sex, then you're a fucking shameful incel virgin loser. Like, we make or we put these insane expectations and beliefs on sex and how much is the correct amount and should I have too much, should I not have enough, like blah blah blah. So yeah, I've covered this topic a lot. I promise it's okay that you feel a lot of shame and weirdness and all of that. I did at the start. And funnily enough, something that helped me let go of a lot of that shame and weirdness, because I had a lot of shame around sex and wanting to have sex. I literally thought sex was bad, especially if it's a casual, like, sexual relationship. But part of what helped me was finding ways to add to the lives of the people that I was doing it with. In other words, I took on sort of a Mother Teresa type mindset, a quote from her: spread love wherever you go. Let nobody come to you without leaving a little bit better off. And the way that I phrase it is, I want to leave girls better than I found them. Like, if we date each other for a week or a month, I want them to be a tiny, tiny, tiny bit better off for having met me. If we date each other for years or maybe for the rest of our lives, I definitely want them to be better than before they met me. Like, I want to help facilitate their greatness. And so you can do a lot of that yourself. You can add to the lives of the people that you hit on or go on dates with or have sex with or get into a relationship with. If you really, really, really explore your sexuality in a way that adds to the lives of other people and obviously yourself as well, it takes away a lot of the shame. And if you just search on my channel for the word add, like ADD, there's this video here, how to add to the lives of women that you sleep with. And then part 2 here, how to change the lives of people that you sleep with or date. So I literally give you a whole bunch of tips. There's like 2 hours worth of tips and advice of how to add to the lives of people that you sleep with or date or in relationships or whatever. So focus on how you can make their lives better. And that will make you feel a lot more confident and happy and joyful in what you're doing. Let's, while we're talking, bust out my favorite chart. This is called the Map of Consciousness. And it was made by a guy called David Hawkins, who was a clinical psychologist and also a spiritual teacher, amongst other things. And he worked with, tens of thousands of patients over decades and decades. And he basically mapped out the main categories of emotions that we feel as human beings. So these are all the categories of emotions that we will feel. And he sort of ranked them, or I guess listed them out in order of the ones that I guess add to your life at the top. At the top, the emotions up there add to your life and the lives of other people around you. And then the emotions down the bottom take away from your life and definitely are a net negative or a drain on the people around you. If you're at the top of this map, so if you're walking around feeling peaceful and joy and love and reason is just rationality or being very logical and rational and stoic and all of that. When you're up there at the top, you contribute a lot to society. you definitely contribute a lot to the people that you come in direct contact with. Think about some people that you've met in your life that just seem very loving and happy and peaceful. They make you want to be around them. They make your life better just by you being in the same room as them. And then think about down the very bottom. If you meet someone who's just racked with guilt and shame and is like literally deeply ashamed of who they are or what they're doing, they're probably not going to add to your life. In fact, without even meaning to, they won't mean to, but they will drag you down. They will be a net negative. They'll be difficult to be around. It'll feel like being around them is heavy. They will feel like a dark cloud over everyone they come into contact with when they're feeling those emotions. They won't mean to. It's not intentional. A lot of the time, they're not even aware of it themselves. And none of that is to shame someone for feeling shame. But a funny thing happens when I pull this map out. A lot of the time I will show this map and someone will go, oh my God, I'm feeling lots of shame. Oh my God, no, I should be ashamed of that. And it's like, that's you just shaming yourself for feeling shame. Or they'll go, damn it, I'm at anger on this map. God, why am I so fucking angry all the time? Oh, I need to stop being angry. And it's like, are you getting angry about the fact that you're angry? And it's like, fuck, I am. Ugh! Are you now getting angry about getting angry about being angry? And so you see how it can be like self-reinforcing. And so none of this is a judgment. None of this is to make you feel bad. It's to present you with opportunities. And so right now, if you're saying my sexuality is tied into shame and guilt, you're probably not going to be making a massive positive difference in the lives of people that you sleep with because you're too racked up in your own guilt and shame. You're probably feeling too much shame and, you phrased it as weirdness to enjoy the damn sex. And so this graph, this map, is an opportunity. If you can start moving up the map, which you're very capable of, you will start enjoying the sex more. You will feel a lot less ashamed about it. In fact, you'll feel joyful and you'll enjoy it. And the people that you do it with will have a much better time. If you could just get to neutrality right there in the middle, being neutral, and just say, sex is an act between two people, sometimes more, but between two people, and it feels nice and they have a good time. That would be a fairly neutral statement. You'd be able to enjoy the sex a hell of a lot more, and the people that you do it with would have a hell of a lot better time. If you can move up into love or joy and say, I love sex. I think it's beautiful. I think it's such a creative expression of two or more human beings coming together, I guess pun intended, quite literally, coming together, having a good time, expressing themselves creatively, making each other feel pleasure and all the sensations of the body. I can add to their life and they can add to mine. The sex can be such a beautiful act that we walk away from it, both feeling like we're better off, both glad that we did it. And we'll text each other afterwards and say, I had fun. Thank you for that. Yeah, I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait to see you again either. You can feel joy and love in the sex that you're having. And so that is the goal that I would aim for. I would aim to move a little bit up into like courage. And part of how you will be courageous is by sharing, which you have already done. Look how courageous it is for you to open up and tell us that you feel shame and weirdness around sex. Brother, I assume you're a brother, you might be a sister. Brother or sister, you posting this, you're already moving up this map of consciousness. You are already right here at courage. You are already being incredibly courageous by telling us about your shame. And so you opening up about some of the weirdness that you feel around sex is part of how you move up the map of consciousness. You literally just start talking through it and you ask other people, hey, do you enjoy sex or do you feel weird and ashamed? And some people will say, I love sex. I think it's beautiful. And you go, cool. How did you get to that point? Can you help me get to that point? Like, I feel shame about it. Can we talk? Can I talk to you? You talk about it with your friends. You talk about it with people that you date. You might even need to go to therapy. I'm very happy to coach you through it. I coach a lot of people through shame and guilt, especially in the bedroom. But as you start to open up about it, you'll start to see that a problem shared is a problem halved. As soon as you start talking about your shame, then it's no longer quite as shameful. One of the things or the mechanisms behind shame is that shame only exists in the dark. Shame can only exist when you don't talk about it. As soon as you start talking about it, you immediately move up this fucking map all the way up to courage. It is incredibly courageous to start talking about your shame. And all of a sudden you realize other people feel the same sense of shame that I do. You're talking about shame when it's around sex. Brother or sister, that was me for decades. I had so much shame and guilt. I told you there's a bunch of videos on my channel. If you search for the word shame or guilt, you will see so many videos about other people who feel exactly the same way you do. And then that makes you feel a lot less ashamed because you're like, oh, it's not just me. I'm not the weird freak. It's like, no, lots of people feel shame and guilt around sex. And you go, oh, okay. I think I feel a bit better. So again, a problem shared is a problem halved. Really good job sharing this. You've done an amazing job. You're incredibly damn brave. Now go share this with more people. Go start putting yourself out there. Start dating. I promise that sex can be a beautiful expression of joy, of pleasure, of love, of creativity. You can add to the lives of people that you date or sleep with or get into a relationship with. You know, I've done videos on that, but really, really, really good first step in opening up to all of us. Really brave of you. We'll finish up with one more quick comment from Cynically Depressed X. What a username. As a woman, it's so refreshing to see a guy giving dating advice that actually encourages treating women with respect. I'm a lesbian. I'm somewhat of a lesbian myself, so welcome. I like ladies, you like ladies. I guess we're both in the liking ladies club. But as long as men are respectful and I feel safe, I will always thank them for the compliment if they hit on me. Thank you for doing that. Honestly, that's really genuinely nice of you. A lot of my coaching clients, I've talked about this quite a lot, are really, really, really terrified to go out and start talking to women. Like they're so unbelievably terrified. They're like, what if she bites my head off? What if she calls me a creep? What if she yells at me? What if I make her feel unsafe, even though I was trying really hard to just be nice and gentle and genuine and respectful and all of that? What if something goes wrong? What if I get arrested? What if I can't do it? What if I freak out? What if I don't know what to say? And I always calm them down and I say, hey, listen, I promise you, the vast majority of women out there are going to be nice to you. I even did a video on this called Women Are Actually Really Nice. I literally talked about exactly this. A lot of the time, my coaching clients will go out to start talking to women. They're really terrified. They'll walk up to a few women and be like, hi, I thought you were cute and I wanted to come say hi. And then the woman will be really fucking nice. And she'll be flattered, or she'll say, thank you, but I have a boyfriend. Or, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what's your name? And they will talk and they will be super nice. Time and time again, my coaching clients will come back to me and they'll say, Andy, you told me that women were really nice. In fact, you did this video on it, literally saying women are really nice, but you didn't tell me that they'd be that nice. And I will say, yes, I did. You just were still surprised by how goddamn nice they were. So, Miss Cynically Depressed X, thank you, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, for being one of those women, or one of those people, I guess. It's not really about a man or a woman thing. For being one of those people, thank you for being nice to them, because a lot of these guys are unbelievably terrified, just like a lot of women in the world are unbelievably terrified. And one of the things that these guys are the most scared of is getting some sort of negative reaction or getting yelled at. And it is people like you who make them feel really nice about themselves for maybe the first time ever in their life, to show them that they are not a creep. They're not some weird incel loser, whatever they think of themselves. They are just a man who is capable of walking up to women and being nice and hitting on them and seeing if they're interested in them. So thank you. I genuinely fucking mean this. Thank you. You have probably put a lot of smiles on a lot of men's faces without even knowing it. You have probably felt or made a lot of them feel a lot better about themselves, especially the very nervous ones or the ones who are very scared. And a lot of them will not show you that they're scared. They will act bravado and all of that. You probably already know this, but when men act bravado or act very brave and, I'm a macho man, it's usually coming from fear. Generally speaking, people who are happy in themselves don't need to act all confident and bravado and all of that. So thank you for being nice to some men that are probably very fucking scared to walk up to you and hit on you. Genuinely, thank you. Going to say, although I'm not into men, neither am I. Look at this. You and I got so much in common. My God. Although I do like men as friends, and maybe you do too. If I do feel that they're attractive, quite often I will tell them they're a handsome guy and encourage them to keep trying. Yeah, okay, so you are the person that my coaching clients come back to me and maybe you don't know this, but I will tell you this right now. These guys that you're telling that they're handsome and you're encouraging them to keep trying, they will remember that for years. I am telling you this because I remember the women that told me, you're cute too. I have a boyfriend, but like, keep doing this. This is really great. I had some women who would literally put their hand on my shoulder and go like this and go like, keep going. You're doing a good job. I still remember that shit 9 years later. Literally 9 years later, I still remember that. And a lot of my coaching clients do too. They will literally say, I'm going to keep this maybe forever. This woman told me that I'm really handsome. Or this woman told me, I have a boyfriend, but like, I think it's really great what you're doing. Thank you for putting yourself out there. Keep doing it. Maybe you don't fully realize what you're doing, but just the tiniest little bit of encouragement to these guys and saying, hey, keep trying. It's such a minor thing, but I'm telling you that sticks with them. That sticks with us, I guess you would say. Sometimes maybe for a lifetime. I don't know. So God fucking bless you. Thank you for doing that. You're going to say the most important thing is that she doesn't feel unsafe. Yeah, as long as you can manage that, women will respond positively whether or not they agree to go out with you. Yeah, and that's just basic courtesy and etiquette and stuff that we talk about a lot on this channel. If you hit on someone and they're like, I have a boyfriend, then just be like, cool, beautiful. I hope you guys are happy together. I wish you both all the best. I hope you guys have a beautiful life together. Like stuff like that. As opposed to maybe sometimes a lot of guys can be very tempted and go like, if she says she has a boyfriend, she's full of shit. Like, you got to keep going, be persistent. And it's like, guys, her saying I have a boyfriend is her polite way of saying I'm not interested. It's a no. So, yeah, we talk about that a lot on this channel. But again, thank you for being the woman that I literally talk about to my coaching clients when I say there are women out there that will encourage you to keep going. I promise there are women out there that will be so unbelievably nice to you that it will make all of this fear and anxiety that you have kind of disappear. And you'll go, there's one really nice woman out there who was really nice to me. And yeah, she's a lesbian, but guess what? I'm a lesbian man as well. So it's all good. We have that in common. But she made me feel good. Now I'm going to go talk to more people. And maybe there'll be another woman out there like her who's nice to me. And hey, maybe that woman will be single and interested in me. And obviously that's how this works. Walk up to enough people and say, hi, you're attractive or you're cute. Are you single? Some of them will be like, yeah, I am. And yes, I'm interested. And yes, I'd love to go on a date with you. Like not everyone is interested. But again, I say this to my coaching clients all the time. Even the people that are not interested, a decent amount of them are going to be like this lady here. And they will be so unbelievably nice to you and so unbelievably encouraging to you that it really, really, really makes this beautiful journey of approaching the opposite sex really fun. So thank you, Mrs. Cynically Depressed X. Much love to you and much love to all of you. I think we'll finish up now, getting towards 50 minutes. So Mr. Luke, I really appreciate you sending me this and this beautiful fan mail that you sent me as well. This is going on my wall. I am going to frame that. That really means a lot to me. I have a lot of gratitude for all of you. I get a lot of really nice comments and nice emails and nice messages from all of you saying, hey, I appreciate your shit. Thank you for helping me. Here's the victories I've had. Here's how much I've changed. Here's what I've improved. It really, really, really makes this journey absolutely beautiful and absolutely worth it. So much love to all of you. Go out there, work on those goals. If you need any extra help with that, hey, I'm right here. 2025, we're into February. What a beautiful time to sign up for coaching, whether that's one of the $200 coaching calls that I offer. Sit down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, as long as we need to talk to solve all of your problems or at least make big headway on them. Or if you want the big hardcore coaching program, that's down below as well. Would love to help you change your life. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and crush your goals.